Now students, in the continuation of the previous video, I am going to start the remaining part of Gulliver's Travels. We are also informed that there are two groups of countries who are very much opposed to one another. The king of Lilliputians had deep enmity toward the king of Benefico. It is very funny to find that the cause of rivalry or enmity between the king of Lilliputian and the king of the other country is very minor, little or trifling. The Lilliputian king broke the egg at the right hand, whereas the other king did the same thing with the left hand. For this trifling cause, the Lilliputian king wanted to fight against the other king and destroy him. Indirectly, Swift wants to point out that our countries also indulge in war, cruelty, bloodshed, and destruction against other countries for trifling reason. We are equally delighted when Gulliver goes to the land of Brobdingnagians. Brobdingnagians were very tall, like a palm tree, and wide, and as an oak tree. They looked like giants. It is very funny to find that Gulliver looks like a Lilliputian among the giants. The wife of a giant takes Gulliver as a spider. Every object of the country named Brobdingnag is very big or large compared with the object of our country. Even the rats of this country were of the size of a big dog. Once Gulliver was attacked by two large rats. Details like this given by Swift are very amusing, humorous, and laughter provoking. But we also find a biting and bitter satire in the garb of the pleasant stories. When the Brobdingnagian king asked Gulliver about his country, England, Gulliver begins to tell the king that his country spends much money of keeping a very large army and on purchasing a large number of deadly weapons. After hearing Gulliver's account of his country, Brobdingnagian's king concludes that English people, like the people of the world, are lovers of violence, cruelty, and bloodshed, and are like Oedus vermin. Oedus vermin is based on Gulliver's description of their behavior. The king described the English, the most pernicious race of little Oedus vermin that nature ever suffered to crawl upon the surface of the earth. Now Gulliver's third journey is to the land named Laputa. Gulliver finds in this country that the people are engaged in different projects and schemes. For example, they had schemes for telling kings to choose their ministers and advisors on the basis of wisdom, capacity, and virtue. They had also schemes to teach ministers for doing acts of public good. Here is a hidden irony or satire that ministers are to be advised and reminded for doing public good. Now Gulliver's last or fourth journey is to the country of Humhums. Humhums are the horses who are rational and sensible. They are much better than men because they don't know falsehoods, lying, cheating, or such black arts. Swift lashes and satirizes man that he is not even like these horses of this land. In this country of sensible horses, Swift finds a very ugly and stinking animal called Yahoo. The writer adds that this ugly Yahoo has a physical resemblance with a man. When Swift links man with Yahoo, his satire on human beings becomes most harsh and caustic. Swift wants to suggest that a man is like a Yahoo in inner ugliness, lust, greed, and littleness. Thus we find that Gulliver's Travels mingles that elements of delight with the harshest satire on man and his evil nature. Now, students, I shall see you in the next video. Till then, okay, bye.